The story begins in the 1990s, a time when the world was buzzing with change. Creativity was often seen as a gift reserved for a chosen few, the painters, the writers, the musicians. But Julia Cameron thought differently. She believed that creativity wasn't just for artists. It was for everyone, whether you were a teacher, an engineer, or someone trying to find a purpose. She believed creativity was your birthright. Her book, The Artist's Way, became a guide for those yearning to rediscover this forgotten part of themselves. At its core, The Artist's Way is about recovery, but not in the way you might think. It's not about fixing something broken. It's about peeling back layers of doubt, fear, and distraction to uncover the creativity that has always been there. Cameron treats creativity as something sacred, a natural part of being human. The book takes you on a 12-week journey, each week focusing on a different aspect of reclaiming that creative self. The journey starts with small, simple practices. One of the tools, simple but profound, and most transformative Cameron introduces is the morning pages. It's a daily ritual. Every morning you take a notebook and write 3 pages of whatever comes to mind. No filters, no edits. It's like clearing the cobwebs from your brain. Imagine waking up and pouring out your thoughts onto paper. They could be worries about your day, random ideas, or even complaints about how tired you feel. Morning pages aren't meant to be masterpieces, they're meant to be honest. Over time, this daily ritual becomes a mirror, reflecting the clutter in your mind and helping you see patterns in your thoughts. Think about it. In today's fast-paced life, how often do we stop to really listen to ourselves? Morning pages give you that pause. They're private just for you, and there's no wrong way to do them. Over time, they help you sift through doubts and fears, creating space for new ideas to emerge. Alongside morning pages, Cameron introduces the concept of artist dates. These are weekly solo adventures designed to refill your creative well. Picture yourself visiting a quirky bookstore, wandering through a park, or even just exploring a thrift shop. The key is to go alone and let curiosity guide you. Artist dates are about playfulness and wonder, 2 things adults often forget as responsibilities pile up. Cameron reminds us that creativity thrives on joy and discovery. By nurturing your inner artist, you're telling yourself your creativity matters. But this journey isn't all fun and games. The Artist's Way asks you to confront your creative blocks. These blocks can come from anywhere. A teacher who criticized your drawing, a parent who told you art wasn't practical, or even your own fear of failure. Cameron calls these negative influences shadow artists or creative monsters. They're the voices in your head that whisper, "You're not good enough," or "It's too late to try." To combat these voices, the book uses exercises that are both reflective and action-oriented. One example is listing your enemies of creativity. These could be people, events, or even habits that have held you back. Once identified, you start to see how these blocks have shaped your beliefs. It's not about blame, it's about awareness. By understanding where your fears come from, you can begin to rewrite the narrative. Another exercise asks you to recall moments of creative joy from your past. Maybe it was the time you won a school art contest or the summer you learned to play guitar. These memories remind you that creativity has always been a part of your life. They're proof that you are, at your core, an artist. In many ways, the Artist's Way feels like a detox for the soul. It's not just about creating art. It's about creating a life that feels authentic and alive. Cameron emphasizes that everyone is creative, whether you're painting, solving problems at work, or finding new ways to make dinner interesting. Creativity isn't limited to professionals. It's for anyone who's willing to explore. One of the book's most powerful messages is the idea of synchronicity. Cameron believes that when you start aligning with your creative purpose, opportunities begin to appear. It's not magic, but a shift in awareness. For example, if you've always wanted to write a novel and start taking steps toward it, you might suddenly meet someone who's a published author or stumble upon a writing workshop. These moments feel like coincidences, but they're often the result of being open and paying attention. Cameron also addresses a common fear. What if my creativity doesn't lead to success? She argues that the process matters more than the result. Creating for the sake of creating, for the joy, the challenge, the growth, is its own reward. This mindset frees you from the pressure of perfection and lets you focus on the journey. The book's practical advice is balanced with a deep respect for the spiritual side of creativity. Cameron often refers to creativity as a gift from a higher power, though she leaves the interpretation open. Whether you see it as God, the universe, or simply your inner self, the message is the same. Creativity is a partnership. Your job is to show up and do the work, even on days when inspiration feels far away. Imagine someone who's been stuck in a rut for years, working a job they tolerate but don't love. They pick up the artist's way and decide to give it a try. At first, the exercises feel strange. Writing 3 pages every morning, taking yourself out on dates, it's so different from their usual routine. But slowly, things start to shift. They notice patterns in their morning pages that point to hidden dreams. They take an artist date to a local pottery studio and remember how much they loved working with their hands. They start to feel alive again. This is the magic of the artist's way. It doesn't promise overnight transformation, but it offers tools to reconnect with yourself. The book encourages patience and kindness, reminding you that creativity is a journey, not a destination. It's about rediscovering the joy of making something, whether it's a painting, a poem, or a solution to a tricky problem. In today's world, where comparison and self-doubt are amplified by social media, Cameron's message feels more relevant than ever. She invites you to step away from the noise and listen to your own voice. By committing to the process, you create a space where your creativity can flourish. By the end of the 12 weeks, you might not become a best-selling author or a famous artist, but you will have changed. You'll know yourself better. You'll trust your ideas more. And most importantly, you'll have reconnected with the part of you that's always been creative, always been whole. The Artist's Way is more than a book. It's an invitation. It's a reminder that no matter how busy or discouraged you feel, your creative self is still there, waiting for you to come back. All it takes is a notebook, a little time, and the courage to begin.